Chapter 38. Are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. Are you really fine? Really, fine. You don't look it. Hyunjong's face creased, looking at Chongmyung. He was speechlessly staring at Chongmyung. He looked withered, as if he was just skin stretched over bone, with a face that was pale like a ghost. How bad could his health be? No matter how he looked at it, this kid seemed to be on the verge of starvation. It was likely that people would think that the other disciples were snatching away his food. He wasn't like this when he first came here. Hyunjong turned his head and asked Eunam, "What did the medical practitioner say?" That he was out of qi. Qi? Yes, they said that excessive training has caused damage to his pure qi. Huh? Hyunjong looked at Chongmyung. Child, you practiced until you damaged your pure qi? Why would you do such a thing? It wasn't that. Training his ass. Chongmyung hadn't properly trained since he entered Mount Hua. Of course, that's all the medical practitioner could say. It was true that his fragile body tapped into the pure qi in his body and damaged it. How could a child who just began learning martial arts shatter their qi? Naturally, the only explanation was overtraining. It was a strange misunderstanding, but he decided to go along with it at this time. I apologize, sect leader. I just wanted to learn the martial arts of Mount Hua as soon as possible. This young one is quite good. The sect leader nodded his head as if he began to like Chongmyung even more. Chongmyung didn't lie. It was true at heart. Eating quickly will spoil the stomach. What are we to do now that you are sick? Be more careful, child. Yes. Hyunjong smiled in satisfaction. The child in front of him was Mount Hua's good luck charm, and he was a devoted disciple to the core. Right. Did you enjoy the tea? I don't really enjoy it. Chongmyung shrugged it off. Maybe I would enjoy alcohol. The tea was too strong for Chongmyung. Unlike alcohol, which stimulated the throat, tea was just grassy water. Even his Sahyung couldn't understand why Chongmyung loved alcohol so much. Is there a law that all sect leaders of Mount Hua should enjoy tea? In the past too, the sect leaders loved tea, and in Chongmyung's eyes, the long tradition of people liking it was unusual. The sect leader carefully handed the tea to Chongmyung, and he took it with both hands. It is a pity you don't enjoy it, but please taste this tea. Yes. Chongmyung quickly drank the tea in one gulp without even appreciating the fragrance. There was a greater pleasure in enjoying the aroma of tea, but to Chongmyung, tea didn't seem like anything more than hot water. Hyunjong looked at Chongmyung with a sad face as he put down the teacup. How was it? It's cold. There was a subtle disappointment in the sect leader's face, but Chongmyung was being honest. Right. Hyunjong decided to blow away the awkwardness by coughing as his expression gently relaxed. I have called you here to reward you for your recent achievements. Thanks to you, Mount Hua was able to get out of this crisis. You did an amazing job. I haven't done anything. How could you say that? If it weren't for you, we would have all been on the streets right now. I just happened to walk past it, and I accidentally stumbled onto that chest. Oh, what a coincidence. Hyunjong shook his head. No, there is no such thing as a coincidence in this world. Everything is the result of a connection. Chongmyung nodded his head. Hyunjong just said it to himself, but it seemed like it was directed at him. I mean, at times he is extremely sharp. Isn't that right, Eunam? Yes, sect leader. Also, even if it was a coincidence, the contribution made was very significant. Besides, since you weren't greedy and informed the sect leader right away, how could we dare call your devotion small? Right. Hyunjong touched his beard. Yes. Then he looked at Chongmyung with warm eyes. It is only natural to give reward to the one who made this possible. Mount Hua wishes to reward you. That was why we called you. Reward? Yes. Is there anything you want? Chongmyung was a little confused. Was there something he wanted? It would be a lie to say that you could give up such wealth with no regrets. If you need, we can even return a suitable sum of wealth. Money is not needed. Hyunjong was a bit shocked. You don't need wealth? Yes. Mount Hua already provides me with food and clothing. Even if I take the money, Where would I use it? There's nowhere in Mount Hua to use it. Right. Hyunjung smiled. The way of Tao. No matter what, it wasn't easy to give up on wealth. Just because he can't spend it now doesn't mean that he can't spend it in the future. Seeing him refuse the wealth, it seemed like he was a child with no greed, a child who was on the path of Tao. However, Chongmyung's inner thoughts were very different from the warm interpretation Hyunjung had of him. How much could you even give me? The sect leader's secret warehouse had become Chongmyung's personal hideout. Inside there was an amount of wealth that would drive others crazy and drop Hyunjung's jaw to the floor. Chongmyung was already the richest man in Hwaum, so he didn't need some minor wealth given by the sect leader. Then what do you want? I could allow you to learn more advanced techniques which aren't normally allowed. I don't really want techniques either. Huh? Is that so? Yes. Do you find these techniques meaningless? Chongmyung shook his head. It isn't like that. This disciple doesn't know much, but I think there is meaning in progressing through the martial arts one step at a time in accordance with the techniques passed down by our predecessors. Hyunjung was shocked. Is that so? Yes. Didn't you say that eating too quickly will spoil the stomach? I did. I think the same applies to martial arts. I will learn it slowly and progress. Yes, right. You are absolutely right. Hyunjung nodded his head. The more they spoke, the more he liked the kid. Has a child who knows nothing of martial arts already started following the path of Tao? Where did he learn all this? Hyunjung couldn't hide his excitement, but Chongmyung had a different thought. Who is giving whom martial arts, you jerk? Still, Chongmyung struggled to determine how he would hand over the rest of the techniques he had left out this time. It would have been better if he had given it to them all at once. However, the human mind is strange. If you give a man both a gold and silver bar simultaneously, his focus would most likely be on the gold and would think less of the silver. The same was true with martial arts. If all of them were given at once, would they know the value of each technique? I need to pay attention to every single one of these things. Sahyung, I was wrong. I'm sorry. He was sorry that he listened through one ear and let it spill out the other. He should have tried to understand how hard being a sect leader was. Looking at Mount Hua through the eyes of his Sahyung, Chongmyung could imagine how difficult things were in the past. Although it was difficult to atone for the dead, Chongmyung vowed to do his best for Mount Hua now. It is good that you have no greed, but it will be difficult for me. Then, there must be something you need, right? Something I need. What could Chongmyung need? First, he could ask for some freedom, which would let him move around more. That was more urgent than anything right now. Sect leader, I am not lazy when it comes to martial arts. I can see that by looking at you. Chongmyung coughed and continued. But I think there's a limit to only learning in this place. I want to see the wide world once in a while. Please give me permission to go down the mountain whenever I want. Hyunjung frowned a little. I understand your intentions, but it is against the rules of Mount Hua. Your contributions is great enough, but if we do that, others may complain that we're giving you preferential treatment. Let me think about it. Yes, sect leader. Is there anything else? Chongmyung, who was worried, opened his eyes wide. Sect leader. As you can see, my body isn't great. Yes, anyone can see that. And the doctor said I damaged my chi. Yes, I've heard. So could you give me vitality pills? Vitality pills? Yes, Mount Hua's vitality pill. Don't most sects usually have something like that? Hyunjung laughed. Right, vitality pill, right. That sounds nice. Is there anything better to supplement the body and return it to its original state? Yes, right. Right, vitality pill, right. The merit you put in is certainly enough. Hyunjung looked at Chongmyung. Didn't you say you wanted to go to Hwaum? Huh? Of course. It is against the rules. But considering what you've accomplished, I can grant you that much. Yes, sect leader. In the name of Mount Hua sect leader, when disciple Chongmyung wishes to head down to Hwaum, he will not need permission from others. Yes. However, Chongmyung, you must keep within Hwaum. Furthermore, You're directly responsible for your own actions and keeping out of trouble while there. Do you understand? Yes, but, Chongmyung asked, tilting his head, the vitality pill? Also, be sure not to neglect your training while traveling. Now then, go. No, wait! Sect leader, the vitality! I have high expectations for you. Keep your head high. Yes. Good. Take care, sect leader. Hyunjung smiled as Chongmyung bowed and walked out. What the hell? I'm suffering out here. That stingy old man should give me some pills. I don't even have vitality pills for myself.